Welcome to House of Horns. My name is Victor Corona, aka Victor Producer, and joining me live from SoFi Stadium is Gilbert Manzano, NFL staff writer for Sports Illustrated. Gilbert, you had Shohei Otani at SoFi Stadium. We thought Yamamoto was going to be there as well. Turns out he wasn't, but Rams hold on to a win over the Saints 30-22. What were your takeaways from this game?
First of all, it got a little crazy here at SoFi Stadium. I wanted to change the title of the video to something Puka Nacua related because that guy's a star. What a great performance. But Matthew Stafford Cooper Cup looked to return to the playoffs. Not so bad because I wrote my story. Check it out at SI.com. Like, these Rams are a year ahead, and I don't think Cooper Cup and Stafford care that they might be number two or taking the backseat to these rookies. Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua, Kobe Turner got a sack. So this young core with a veteran group, they're going to be dangerous, Victor. We keep talking about, everybody keeps talking about, now it's national. People are talking about another 30 points tonight, 5 consecutive games with 27 points. It's still a young roster that needs to learn how to finish and close games. Second week in a row, Commanders and now the Saints. But before that kind of letdown at the end, Raheem Morris's defense was stepping up too. They gave up that touchdown to Shaheed. But after that, they shut them down. And then it became the Stafford, the Marcus Robinson show, Kyron Williams, Cooper Cup. It wasn't the best day for Cooper Cup, but I kept thinking about last year. If Cooper Cup was playing that poorly, they would have lost by 20 points. Now they don't need him as much, and that's the beauty of having a roster with so many guys contributing. So they're loaded, they're dangerous, they have experience. You're young. Watch out, NFL playoffs.
Gilbert, just want to let the people know who are joining us. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're here, House of Horns. We have your post game Rams post game show, as we said. We'll get to everybody's comment. We got Nancy, I see you, and Evan. We'll get to your comments as well. But I just want to talk about the fact that the Rams now with this win, their playoff chances improved to 78% to make the playoffs. Gilbert, they are now the number 6 seed, and if the playoffs ended today, they would be facing the Lions, which
Mm.
everybody is looking forward to. But as you talked about, Gilbert, we've been talking about this. We've been saying that if the Rams get in the playoffs, they're probably, no, not probably, now they're the most dangerous team. They're one of those teams that nobody wants to face in the NFC. And then the other thing, we've also been saying that the Rams might be the one team that matches up well with the 49ers, and we'll see that in a couple of weeks. But I think the national audience got to see what we've been saying for the last couple of weeks. And I mean, it was a quite the showing offensively for this Rams team, Gilbert. I know you took care of both the offense and the defense, but I mean, between Puka Nacua, like, and I'll get to this comment now because she called it on our pregame show. Nancy Neri said, ¿qué les dije, compas? 160 plus yards. Y'all thought I was crazy. I went back and she did say, she said he's going to go off. So credit to you, Nancy, for calling that. It's weird, too, because the last 2 weeks has been Cooper Cup. And then with over 100 yards, and then Puka Nacua has 50 yards. Today, the script flipped, and then you have, and then we have Evan Holtz here. I'm looking forward to Victor and Gilberto's take on the Rams game, too, especially about that unsung hero on the offensive line. And we'll get to that offensive line in a bit, Gilbert. And then here's another kind of told you I was close to on the score too. Pugana lit it up today. Hey,
Yeah, on
I
fire.
love this. I love when people call their shots and they get it right. And then we got our guy Henry Camacho. This was a great showcase game by the Rams. Everything they do is money in the bank. So Gilbert, like I said, I'm gonna just, I know I'm kind of taking over here, but let me just give you just a bunch of stats here. The Ram that opening drive, Gilbert, was impressive. They went 95 yards.
Yeah.
The longest drive of the season, 14 plays that lasted 7 minutes and 56 seconds. Gilbert.
That was a beautiful opening drive. And honestly, it kind of gave me my start for my story tonight. Another plug at SI.com. And it just showed the abundance of play calls that Sean McVay has on his play sheet because guys like Demarcus Robinson, even a healthy Tutu Atwell when he's right could contribute. Cooper Cup, Tyler Higbee, Keep going on and on. Puka Nacua, obviously, and just the variety of plays, the balanced attack with the passing, with the run. And it was scripted. I get it. Opening drive to go 14 plays. I don't think it was scripted when you had 5 yards to go for the wiggle room, 95 yards, and then to eat 8 minutes off the clock. That was a perfect example how the rookies and the veterans are combining. And shout out Steve Avila. You know what? Put up that comment by Evan because I don't want to keep forgetting the offensive line. I covered this team last year when they had 12 combinations on the offensive line in the first 13 games. Now they have consistency. Guys are contributing. Kevin Dotson, what a great trade that
What
was.
a find, man.
And Demarcus Robinson, and I even wrote in my story, I was like, it's time to talk about Les Snead as executive of the year in the NFL because Kevin Dotson, Witherspoon, Demarcus Robinson, it's not just a draft. These finds in the offseason when it's supposed to be a rebuild year, it's all paying off. And it was a perfect example in that 14 play drive to start the game, and then just became the Puka Nacua show. And credit to you, Victor. You pointed it out a couple of weeks back. Stop making Cooper Cup the focal point of the offense. Nothing wrong with that. Let Puka kind of take control. Let Kyron be the lead back too. And Kyron and Puka are just kind of carrying this team. And it's helping out Stafford to able to distribute. That was my other key. On that drive, Victor, there was four guys that caught at least one pass that went over 10 yards. It was Higby, Puka, Robinson, Cup. So they're spreading the ball around. And I got some little pop on my Twitter today because I put that tweet like a year ago they had a bunch of offensive linemen that were hurt. A year ago, if Cooper Cup drops two passes at the goal line or in the end zone, they're down 10 points. They went into halftime leading by 10 points. So after the Shaheed touchdown, they got the game back on track with the touchdown at the end. So yeah, Evan, the offensive line, without that, without drafting Steve Avila second round, your first pick in the draft to set the tone that you cannot have a bunch of injuries or a bunch of guys that you think you might pay off. Kevin Dotson, Avila, uh, you know, Alaric Jackson, not even drafted. What's it called? Even Noteboom, but Havenstein and also Coleman Shelton. That five there with Noteboom being like a six man. What a good line.
I mean, that offensive line did a great job. Let me give you some more stats that is just going to blow you away. The 328 yards, passing yards for Stafford went to four pass catchers tonight, Gilbert. Puka, Cup, Robinson, and Higby. Now with Cup, Nakua, and Kyron, they've all played 7 games together, and the Rams are averaging 29 points in those 7 games, Gilbert. Also, coming into this game, the Saints had not allowed a quarterback to pass over 300 yards in 40 straight games before Matthew Stafford broke that streak tonight, Gilbert. I mean, just impressive. Let me give you the stat lines for Matthew Stafford the last 5 games: 1,383 yards, 14 passing touchdowns, one interception. I mean, just an incredible. And it all starts up front, as Evan said. Without having that protection, and even Matthew Stafford on the post game interview, you can tell he's having fun. And he even said, "Hey, coming off that finger injury, he was motivated, and now it's starting to show."
Yeah, and he had the hip injury, I think, in Indy. So to get some time coming off that bye weekend, another part of my story too. I'm just gonna give it away. Like this team is different from 2022, and they're different from the 3-6 team. Like, how do you make like a change out of nowhere when you're down 3-6 and to win was it 5 out of the last 6 and to move up to the 6th seed? Uh, you know, the, you know, I want to see what happens in Week 18, but obviously you can't fall to the trap of the Giants in New York
No, you gotta. I'm
next
telling
week.
you, I'm still nervous about that game. Like it just, I know it's Tommy DeVito, and
Yeah,
but You're having to go to the East Coast. That's always dangerous. I know McVay has a really good record, but on Eastern time zone games, I think he's something like 16-5 after the loss to the Ravens. But you want to take care of business. You get 10 days off now before you have to travel across the country, so that'll be something to keep an eye on. But
yep,
Gilbert, let me get to these comments real
yep,
quick. We have Nancy. She's only twice has he done it. The last time was with the was Colts by 1 point. I'm guessing has it. We're talking about Puka Nakua would be my guess here. And then you got a Tocayo here.
yeah. Good
Gilbert
name.
Dixon says Rams are young and dangerous. No team wants to see them. Yep, right on point there. Henry Camacho, none of this is possible without Stafford. It's a team game. Without Stafford's play, it's all for nothing. Very complimentary. I got a little scary towards the end, but the score wasn't indicative. And we'll get to that and what happened there towards the end. There's some concerns, and I'll bring up on our engagement question of the night. We got Nancy, yeah, but it hasn't been the same since Whitford left. Yeah, that's part of it too. I mean, we talked about it last season. That
Yeah,
was my biggest concern as when we started this channel was that offensive line, and it came to fruition. And now they've built it up.
they're do real quick. They're doing well. Obviously, you still got to improve it, especially left tackle. But to what they have, and especially in a rebuild year, to go get Kevin Dotson, to make Steve Avila your draft pick, to to make Coleman Shelton the center over Brian Allen. That was kind of a little controversial at first, but they're all paying off. So obviously, it could get better, but they're different from last year.
Yeah, and then trying to steal the Rams thunder. You know
Yeah,
what's crazy too about the Yamamoto signing is the Rams they had a jersey for him. They posted the video. I retweeted it. It was pretty crazy. They had a number 18 Rams jersey
yeah.
as
He
well.
was, he
So
was going to go to the game with Otani. Obviously, he was
yeah,
going to sign. Maybe something
yeah,
happened where like, hey, it's too
yeah,
soon, and then he went to go get it done. But
yeah.
it was right there. They gave it away pretty much.
Yeah, and then we have one more here. It says, "Remember the day the Rams announced their return to it? It was the same night Kobe scored 80,
Hmm.
80 point. No, was it 80? That was the 81 point game?
I want
Uh,
to say no. I think he's probably talking
I
about
think in the
60,
60.
60.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
his final game. I would say
81. I was like in high school. That was like a
yeah,
long
that
time
was a
ago.
long time ago. And then we have Nancy here on top of that. Tuto didn't even play. I'm done with him.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean,
He's
I
getting
think
everything
the
right today. But yeah,
yeah.
let's see what happened with Tutu.
Yeah, I mean, I think the play of Demarcus Robinson now has pretty
Mm.
much have has made Tutu Atwell person non grata here. And I mean, talking about Demarcus Robinson, Gilbert, he had, let me give you the stats here. He had 6 catches for 82 yards, and this is the fourth straight game he's had a touchdown for Demarcus Robinson. And all his six completions and his 6 receptions, 82 yards, all came in the first half.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. This fine here with Robinson, and that's why I'm saying like it's not all about the rookies. It's not all about the guys that won the Super Bowl. Like just finding and hitting on these guys that nobody wanted in the offseason, like Witherspoon, Dotson, Robinson, young Buck. You were in high school in 2015. Well, I don't know. I don't. We shouldn't give our age, but I think that was 2006. I was like a junior in high school. So there you go.
Yeah.
I am pretty young, but I don't feel it. I don't feel like it these days. But yeah, we were talking about the Robinson and
Yes.
Dotson, and yeah, like I mentioned, it's just a combination of things where I think Leslie might be in the mix for executive of the year. Maybe we should start talking about Sean McVay already for coach of the year candidate. I know there's other people who are also worthy of it, but to just have this turnaround, after what happened last year was brutal. 2 years removed, and I keep talking about it too, but I go back to the 2017 Saints draft class, and Drew Brees was out here today with Gail Benson, the owner of the Saints, in a suite. And Drew Brees, when Alvin Kamara and Brian Ramchick and Marshawn Lattimore and Marcus Williams and Trey Hendrickson, I looked it up, and even Alex Alonzi from the Lions linebacker, I'm butchering his name. There was like 6 guys that came out of the 2017 draft. The Saints went to the playoffs for Drew Brees' final years 4 consecutive times. They didn't win the whole thing, but it gave Brees one more chapter in Sean Payton. So that feels like the same thing with Stafford and Sean McVay. When you have just a momentum changing, culture changing team, changing draft, it sets you up. Like you got to hit on those picks, these fifth round picks, and even today, like Ernest Jones is so fun to watch. I know he wasn't a first round pick and he wasn't drafted last year or this year, but he's been around for 3 years, I think. And to be doing what he's doing, Ernest Jones, Jordan Fuller too, I think a sixth round pick or seventh round pick. I'm blanking here. But these are starting to add up here. Yeah, a couple there, and a bunch of 2023. Even the punter, Ethan Evans, right? I wanted to count Lucas Haversick as a rookie, but a free agent, but he missed a kick today. But
Yeah.
rookies are doing their part, and veterans and free agents, newcomers, it's just been a pretty fun team to see how they assembled it.
Yeah, and I wanted to share this comment here by Nancy. To be honest, rookies help win championship. Just like basketball, you're only as good as your bench. And this goes to my next comment here, Gilbert. The Rams 2021 and 2022 fifth round picks combined for 31 touches, 284 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams were big tonight. And
Yeah.
as you said, I mean, get, hitting on your draft picks goes a long way, and I mean that just tells you that the Rams have set themselves up well here by hitting on their draft picks. And not only that, we've also pointed to the free agent signings as you did earlier as well. And then I want to
And
get
real
to
quick, just to clarify, Henry, 2015, I was not in high school. You're confusing the 60-point game and the 81-point game. 81
yeah,
point game, I was in high school. 2015, I was poor somewhere trying to make it as an adult. Okay,
yeah. There you go. We
just
have
to
Claire.
clarify, Henry.
Yeah,
But thank you for the comment.
talking about
Right
you,
there.
talking about you, Gilbert here. Gilbert Dixon, areas that need improvement, secondary mistakes, special teams. Rams were able to overcome and win. And I'll start off with this. We'll get into the negative part of tonight's game, Gilbert here, and that has to do with special teams. We saw Lucas Habersick miss that field goal, and I just saw my timeline go. They need to bring in a new kicker now, and I would hold it for right now just because it was a bad snap. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there just because I even saw that it was a bad snap, but you still have to hit that. And then special teams, a block punt late in the game, and this is where we've been praising the rookies and how well they've done. But Davis Allen had two critical mistakes late in the game, Gilbert, that allowed the Saints to get back in this game. He had a hold against Cam Jordan, that where Kyron Williams had a big run, and then on special teams he missed the block on that block punt. So it tells you that special teams are a big concern for the Rams going forward. We love what they're doing offensively and defensively too. That's two. Once again, we see two receivers get behind the defense and they get beat with long touchdowns. Gilbert.
Yeah, this is the part where we kind of get a little negative here, and they're a dangerous team, and we're not going to take that away from them. They can score points, they can play defense well enough, and that's where I go here. Like, there's still a young roster, besides the core three guys and Cup, Donald, and Stafford. A lot of young guys, like you mentioned, the mistakes on special teams. Special teams can also be an issue in the playoffs, and I get why people are pretty annoyed about it. And they asked McVay today in the press conference, "Hey, you won the game, but you should probably be worried about the playoffs. Are you going to make a change? He's going to try to evaluate and see what happens. Maybe just keep Mason Crosby on the freaking roster to push it. The guy look over your shoulder. Okay, I should make this kick. And like you mentioned, it wasn't totally his fault, but special team has to improve in the playoffs. Like, we all remember that Packers game against the 49ers where the Packers just blew up on special teams and lost the game at Lambeau Field. Special teams is going to be critical in the playoffs. You also got to grow up in a hurry. You can't be having these games where you're letting Scary Terry and Shaheed go off and you lose them in coverage. I think Witherspoon looked a little annoyed with the safety. Like, there was no help there. It might have been on Jordan Fuller. So you got to be on the same page. And those are two veterans too. So stop allowing the big explosive plays because it could be a little. It could kill you in some games. But they have the offense to overcome it, and the defense is good enough to regroup. And that's a credit to Raheem Morris. I keep pushing Raheem Morris. Hopefully, he gets a head coaching job. It wasn't the finish that he probably wanted to get that attention for more head coaching jobs, but it's a young roster to make it work when you lost Jalen Ramsey, Bobby Wagner, Leonard Floyd, uh, Byron Young, Kobe Turner, rookie starting for you. Michael Hoyt wasn't even an edge rusher over a year ago. So yeah, he's doing a good job. But you got to clean up the secondary. You got to definitely improve special teams, and those are, and be a better closer. And those are the things they have to take care of in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, especially as you get ready to go into the playoffs. I think, as their chances improve, I think you also have to start cleaning those things up because you don't want to lose in the playoffs because of special teams. And so that'll be something to, clean up the next couple of weeks. We have more comments here. Potential free agents, we're definitely paying attention to edge rusher, cornerback, and left tackle. That'll be something that I think those are things that they'll look for in the offseason, whether it is through the draft and free agency. But we'll get to the offseason when they get
But
eliminated.
But that's the exciting part. Like,
Yeah,
the again, rebuilding part is this year, and they already hit on the draft picks. Now they got $43 million in the salary cap next year, and they have a first round pick for the first time since
yeah.
2016 when I wasn't in high school.
I think it was 12. I think they have 12 draft pick last I saw this coming draft. So I mean they're in Nancy Neri. I think we said something that she liked. Facts, my man. Gary Trujillo, what's up, dudes? Hey, what's going on, Gary? Glad to have you on here. Continue to send your comments. We're gonna share them right now. We got they're doing all this without that. Yep, true. With that comes better special
Yeah,
teams. It will be addressed.
yeah,
Yep, and that's right on, Henry. As as we said, we're only being critical because of what happened with the fact that they allow them to they can't seem to close games right now, and that comes with being a young team. We've been talking about it all season, Gilbert, that these are growing pains that you're gonna have to go through. We're just pointing it out with what's going on. We don't want to just
yeah.
talk about the good stuff, because these are things you need to keep in mind as you move forward and you're making a playoff run.
I gotta
That
say, people were probably scared when Kyron Williams went down. He lost his helmet, took a big hit, went to the blue tent, came back right away. But I'm sure for those few minutes, people were worried about it because you can't have injuries with this team because there's no depth, and you need these guys because they're just so critical, especially Kyron Williams and Puka Nacua.
Yeah, our guy Daniel Calderon Fuller has regressed. Yeah, he hasn't been as productive. He had that
Yeah,
interception today, but yeah, like it's true. Nancy, well, that's the problem. Placeholders need to be on their A game. Look at Chargers. Dicker, the kicker, has a really good placeholder, doesn't miss. And Nancy, part of the thing was that the Rams lost their long snapper 2 weeks ago and had to replace him. So they brought in a new long snapper, and so that's part of the problem as well. We pointed that out. So I mean, like I said, it's gonna take some time. It also has to do with timing as well. I don't put it out on Lucas because number one, he's a rookie, and we've talked about this. You need a veteran guy, but it's too late in the season. They kind of messed up by not re-signing Matt Gay, but this is what you have, and you have time to fix it now that you've improved your chances of making the playoffs going forward. Daniel Calderon, we got to get the kicker position solidified. Jorge Rodriguez, where is Dan?
I don't know.
Dan is he is ready to watch the game on Saturday. He'll be on What's Up Bolts and to with the post game show there. So make sure you're locked in. Make sure you're subscribed to all our channels, whether it's here. Click that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on here on House of Horns. We're giving
Yeah.
away a Puka Nacua jersey, so make sure you subscribe because you'll qualify to win that Puka Nacua jersey. Daniel Calderon, I think we have the most cap next year. I think it's
They're like
between,
they're
yeah,
like
they're like,
fifth or
y-
sixth, something like that.
yes,
There's one team that I saw. I was glancing very quickly. It has like $73 million in cap space. The Rams have 43, which is still like top eight, top 10.
yeah, I want to say it's the Panthers, but I could be wrong. Uh, Nancy, that helps the kicker, as kickers have followed through in their brain, and one misjudgment from their other individual will cause you to throw you off. Yeah, and that has to do with having that trust too. I mean, I know don't most people don't care about kickers, but that's part of the problem. They're essential, especially with special teams. So,
Yeah.
and then one more thing, Gilbert, before we continue. Rams Kobe Turner now leads all NFL rookies in sacks with the sack that he had today. He now has 6.5. Between him and Byron Young, Gilbert, they're two rookies now. They have 12.5 sacks. That's production from your rookies,
Yeah,
Gilbert.
third round picks too. So and they're starting every day, so that's pretty good. And just a couple of notes here. Jorge, I decided to pair a House of Horns today with Compas on the beat, trying to blend both worlds together. That's why you probably like, hey, what's going on here with the House of Horns? But if you don't know, we have three channels: Compas on the beat, the main channel, House of Horns, where we talk all things Rams, and then we have What's Up Bolts, where we talk all things Chargers. That's where Dan is at. And I'm trying to combine everybody together. And for the most part, everybody's getting along. I know everybody has their own favorite team, so I like this stuff. But and there was one more thing I wanted to mention. I forgot, but maybe it'll come back to me here. But yeah, I like the comments.
Yeah, I mean, and then Puka Nacua. Let me ask you this, Gilbert. As we get ready for the Rams' upcoming schedule, they're at the Giants and at the 49ers. But Gilbert, um, Puka Nacua, is he now the leading candidate for Rookie of the Year, or is it still C.J. Stroud in your
No,
mind?
no, it's still CJ Stroud, but Puka Nacua is making it close. And I know CJ Stroud is going to miss the second game, but to be doing what he's doing at quarterback and already being an MVP candidate. But hey, if CJ Stroud keeps missing games and Puka Nacua is doing what he's doing, then give the award to Puka Nacua. He's definitely top two. It's he's in a bad year for this one, but Sean McVay say, hey, Puka Nacua has my vote, obviously, and but he also mentioned, yeah, that CJ Stroud guy is playing pretty well too. So it could be a nice little race here, especially if Stroud has injuries. But I'm not hoping that because I love watching CJ Stroud play. So it's definitely 1-2, but definitely Puka Nacua as a Pro Bowler, get him on there. I think it's way too early for like all pro talk, but he's definitely up there. I think as a top 10 wide receiver. He was asked I think about possibly breaking the rookie record for receiving yards, and he's like, honestly, I was just trying to make the team. I was just trying to
Yep.
play special teams. I was trying to learn how to block. I did not see this coming. So, and also, because it was my first time in a while being in the Rams locker room, and you could tell the youngsters like Puka and Kyron are not used to the spotlight. There was a bunch of media here today, and it's like, well, do you want to talk to me? I'm like, yeah, you got 160 something yards receiving, so it's all new to them, and it's wild to think that. And you can pull up Delbert's comment here too if you want.
Yeah, yeah, here we go. Here, let me give it to you. Come on, man. It feels great to be the hunter with these youngsters. Mistakes, yes, but we're still looking for the next level of competency to get us to the Super Bowl. The future is bright, and it certainly is. I mean, you know, everybody was talking about this being a gap year and the fact that, their CFL called this a remodel, and a lot of people laughed at that. And now they're 8-7. They're on the brink of making the playoffs, and that's all you can ask for. And just seeing the development, I think a lot of credit goes to Sean McVay, Les Need, and everybody involved, because it's been everybody who's had a little part to do with this has to get credit. It's just not one person, not the front office, not the coaching, but everybody as a whole.
And real quick, though, I remember what I wanted to say. Victor, shout out to you for reading the comments because sometimes I forget we have audio listeners and they can't see the YouTube
Yes,
comments here, so you read
yes,
them out. So that's awesome by you. Just wanted to give you credit there. And Delbert, the I'm a reporter, so for me, I like to harp on both sides. It might come off a little negative, but I like to go with the positive and the negative and kind of give you a little bit of everything here. And I'm not gonna doubt it, Delbert. Like I'm sure it's awesome to have all these other teams like the 49ers and the Cowboys and the Lions thinking like, what are they doing over there in LA? Those youngsters, I thought the Rams were done. And to be the hunter with Puka Nacua in prime time, I'm sure people are watching this game. I'm sure that's a different feeling. But if you like that enjoyment of like, hey, whatever happens, happens, I'm cool with that. But people are gonna be saying, well, what about special teams? Or if something happens where you can't close a game, it's gonna be an experience there. But I'm sure you want to focus on the win. I get that, but there's still 2 games to go. They got to fix things up here. People keep calling me out when I say, well, the 49ers are right here and the Rams are right here. Like every game's different. I know that. I got to take that in mind. But like I'm just expecting when the Rams play, I don't know about week 18 because it might not be anything to it because it's 1 week before the playoffs. But when they play in the playoffs, I want to see it all come together too, and I want to make sure that I'm catching the negative, the positive, what they're doing well, what they need to work at. But I guess I'll do a better of kind of easing up because I know when they were 3-6, I was just pretty negative the whole time. So I get that, but right now I want to give them all their credit, and that's why I made sure to talk about the negative as like an afterthought.
yep, there you go. All right, Gilbert, let me get to more of these comments because everybody's on here, and we love this. So we love the engagement. Henry Camacho, you could have all the skeptics. It's what you do with it. And yep, it's true because we've seen a lot of teams do really well that one season where nobody expects them. And a perfect example is the Panthers. They went and they traded up. They thought they were a player away, and now look at what happened with them. We also have Nancy. It's all good. I like the Rams, but I've been a Chargers fan since 2000. Hey, we welcome everybody on here. If you guys want to, we love the conversation. As long as everybody's respectful, we enjoy the conversation. Crunch Butt Steak says Super Bowl win number 3 incoming. Hey, gotta love the confidence there.
Hey,
Uh,
real quick before you read that, when I was walking into the stadium, seeing the 2 banners, I feel a little different about the 99 one, but seeing the 99 one and the 2021 together when you walk into SoFi, that's a nice touch. That's
yeah.
pretty cool to look at, the banners.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Lakers with the Minnesota banners, and
Yeah.
everybody's like, "Come on, you're really counting those?" But hey, I mean,
But it's cool that it's like you can see it inside and outside. When you walk into the
yeah,
stadium, just seeing it, I'm like, that's I don't think nobody else has it because the inside outside stadium.
yeah, that's a cool part about it. Your Tocayo here, Gilbert Dixon. You guys provide quality content. Much love and go around. Yeah, thank you. If you can spread the word, like I said, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So anything helps. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Nancy Neri, it says watch this Nacua will hit 1,900
Oh,
yards by the end of the season if they
what
keep
is it
playing
right
like
now?
this.
I gotta check. Jeez.
Yeah, go ahead and check because as I know he's close. He has a chance to break. I think the rookie receiving record. I know that for sure, and that was one of the things I said. I said if he breaks the rookie receiving record, I think you have to give him the rookie of the year. But I know it's a quarterback league, and I know that usually goes the award goes to a quarterback.
He's probably close to 1,400 already. I saw it was 1,100 on Pro Football Reference, but it hasn't updated. So he almost got 200 today. So it's almost 1,300.
Yeah, I think he had 100. I think he had like 180 total yards.
Mm. Oh, by
Scrimmage
the way,
yards.
that jet sweep was a great. When we talk about them closing games, getting that right there on the jet sweep, and then also having them come off sides to kill more clock. It was a scare at the end with the 22-30 score, 8 point game, one possession game. But they got risky, by the way. The Saints there with, I guess they had no timeouts left, but you got the onside kick, and the Rams went down and killed the clock, and the jet sweep made all the difference in the world.
Yeah, Puka, 9 receptions, 164 yards, 2 carries, 16 yards. So he had 180 scrimmage yards today. I mean, the guy, he was the closer tonight. Here we have Heaven Holds. For sure, the GM gets credit. And don't forget about Stan Kroenke. I mean, he's the one putting out the money. So, yeah, getting that stadium, that's a great point. We got James Wheelock. Yeah, we have trouble putting
Hey,
away, but it will take the win. Let's bring on Mason Crosby. Yeah, like
yeah, me and James think alike. Just
yeah,
in the back of the mind, there's some negativity in there, but it's a good one.
yeah. But yeah, Gilbert. Yeah, it's been crazy too, just to see. And then there was one other stat I had on here that I wanted to share. Like I'm trying to look for it here. Yeah, so Matthew Stafford has thrown multiple passing touchdowns in 5 straight games, which is his longest streak since joining the Rams. That kind of took me by surprise, Gilbert, because I thought he would have done it during the Super Bowl run, but I mean, to see it now with all these young players, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, you talking about Stafford?
Yeah, Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, this guy. Obviously, he's played so much football, so I can't say he's playing the best football of his career. I can't remember everything he's done, but to what we did from last year, where he got the spinal cord contusion to a concussion, where he couldn't feel his legs in New Orleans. By the way, playing the Saints today, maybe it's kind of like how far he's come in a year. I totally forgot about that, but
Nancy
yeah,
has a question for you, Gilbert.
yeah.
Is how loud was the game?
I feel like every time, especially early in the game, when that again the beautiful opening drive, it was pretty loud. They got the touchdown there on the fourth down, fourth and go. By the way, good call by Sean McVay. You're right there at the two. Go for it, fourth and go. It's still a tough catch for Cooper Cup. That was kind of an awkward angle, but it got loud after that. It got pretty loud after Kobe Turner's sack on fourth down. Yeah, I think by the end it was kind of okay. It was, like the second half was kind of quieter because it was more like a party. Like, okay, yeah, everybody's having fun. The game is over, and like, oh crap, it's one possession game. But the first quarter was definitely a tone setter. It was a good crowd today.
Yeah, I mean, and one of the things I saw was the crowd caused a false start, which is it's kind of weird to see at SoFi when the Rams or the Chargers play at home, just
Yeah,
because
I didn't
you see
notice
a
any
lot.
like I didn't notice like a big Saints crowd. I'm sure they're out there, but it wasn't like you see it pretty often, like when the 49ers come or something like that.
Yeah, and it was the final home game for the Rams. Now they go on the road for 2 straight games. So here we go. We got James Wheelock. Only negative other than that, we also kept giving up big plays on defense. And we talked about it, James. We talked about it earlier. The fact that they continue to give two more shot plays today where they give up touchdowns on those deep throws. You can't keep doing that. Eventually it's going to catch up to you. Jerry Guevara, Rams can also use a Pro Bowl edge rusher to help out in the backfield and get more pressure maybe next year. There is an edge rusher out there, Gilbert, that just became available, but I just don't see the Rams bringing anybody in. I think they like the players that they have right now, and I just don't see them going out there.
Who are you
uh,
referring to?
is it Justin Houston?
Oh yeah, yeah, an older guy. But I like what this crew. See what you got in this crew, and Les Need just being
Yeah,
patient. He has a long term plan, and it's
jealous.
working a little earlier. Don't get a little antsy. Keep going with this crew. I like it.
Yeah, it was the rookies, and they'll get better. Yeah, just roll with the team. as Jerry Juarez says, he agrees with us. Willie Bowen says LA needs a kicker and a cornerback. I mean, those things are going to get. I think those will get solved during the off season and
Yeah,
into next season. I think right now you just got to go with what you have. And I mean, nobody
yeah,
expected this from the Rams. You know, we've talked about the not re-signing Matt Gay, but at this point, you're gonna roll with what you have, Gilbert.
and it's already like what 2 weeks or about to be 2 weeks for most teams. Like in the regular season, like usually it goes to trade deadline, and then like a month after that, some veterans get cut or released, and okay, we're not going anywhere. Let's do this guy a favor. But by now, it's kind of like how do you join a team with 2 weeks to go? But I guess it could happen, and also you got to get it because not every veteran now goes through waivers. So somebody else could block you, or somebody else could take that player. So things like that, it could happen. But then again, like there's still guys out there like you mentioned, Houston or Zach Ertz, guys like that. But at this point in the game, it's gonna be somebody like a veteran. They may can help you out and add depth. But other than that, I don't think you really expect a difference maker right now. But definitely depth is important.
Gilbert, we're 35 minutes in. How much time we got with you here? I don't want to take too much. I know you got to get your. Did you get your story done already? Your
Yeah, that's the beauty of them blowing out the Saints until it got close. I was gonna get word at the end. Like, if I have to
yeah.
rewrite this freaking story, I'm gonna lose it. But yeah, but I gotta upload some YouTube videos on the channel on House of Horn. So let's do like another 5 to 10 minutes. If comments jump in, then I'll stick around. But let's do another 5 to 10.
All right, there we go. We got some bonus time here with Gilbert. So here we go. Willie Bowen. LA Rams need to score more touchdowns in the red zone, and that's been another sore spot for this team. We saw it. I think that's been their bugaboo on offense so far. Since came off the bye week, I did like the fact that they ran Kyron Williams in the red zone, which I asked for. That's all you, and they went for it on fourth down. So I mean, we asked, and Sean McVay delivered. Unfortunately, they just couldn't get in the end zone as many times as we hoped.
They made or Sean McVay made a joke at the press conference saying like, "Stop asking about the red zone." That's why I went for it. So, but obviously that's not the reason. But for him to do that and set the tone and with the 14 play drive, scoring the red zone, a well balanced attack, that's the way to end it. But yeah, it could have been better.
Yeah, Nancy says should have picked up Hopkins. He was cheap after Dicker took him out. Washington got the one on the cheaps. Yeah, I mean that's part of the thing was they weren't going to spend on special teams. They drafted a rookie punter and in the seventh round, and then picked up a undrafted free agent as a kicker, and then they cut him. They brought in Maher, and then got rid of him. So I mean this is what happens. You're gonna have that stuff happen. Unfortunately, right now you got to deal with what you have, and I think Haversack's gonna be the guy. And I'm with you. I would bring in Mason Crosby just in case, just to push him. AMS
Yeah,
was on our looking ahead show last night. Duke Shelley starts his 21 window. Should he start? It doesn't hurt. I mean, the more secondary help you can have, the better, Gilbert.
yeah. Obviously Kobe Durant hasn't taken that next step like everybody wanted him to. Darion Kendrick has struggled at times. Witherspoon has done his job, but again, like I know that the big touchdown play, I don't know whose fault that was on. He looked pretty frustrated with the safety help. So you definitely need more help in the secondary. You got a veteran like John Johnson too. I don't know how much he's playing these days, but also the guy from UCLA, I'm already blanking on his name. I got a shout out from McVay in the presser.
Yeah, Quentin Lake.
There you go. So you're young, and having Duke Shelley come back, it will help. I don't know about starting, but I think with Witherspoon and Kobe Durant probably your two outside guys, and then obviously you go nickel. Maybe it's Darion Kendrick still, but people are frustrated with him.
Yeah, and then Nancy has another question. You think Maher was a better choice during training camp? And the thing that happened, Nancy, with the kicking situation is they were planning to go with the rookie kicker, and then they realized that he was too raw, and so they brought in Maher right before the season. I think it was right before the Seahawks game, and then they realized that they had made a mistake, and then they cut him, and then they brought in Havrasik, and then he started having problems, and then they brought in Mason Crosby. They made him active for the Ravens game. We thought he was going to replace Havrasik. Next thing you know, Havrasik goes 4 for 4. I think it was 3 for 3 in the rain against the
Yeah.
Ravens. Has a good performance, and then the last 2 weeks he's reverted back. But as we said, there's been a caveat with that. It's the fact that they lost their long snapper in that game against the Ravens, and so now they've had to integrate a new long snapper. I know it's not an excuse, and people don't care about long snapper, but when it comes to your timing and a kicker, that's gonna mess things up. So we have renamed Playa is he's giving them the thumbs up. Awesome.
And real quick to Nancy, you got spoiled with the special teams this year on the Chargers. As you know, Nancy, they've been horrible on special teams, and it's all that's important. But this year, the Chargers are actually pretty good special teams.
Yeah, there you go. James Wheelock, it says Brett Maher at least made them inside the 50 yards. And that was the thing too. Like I think Sean McVay kind of put him in a bad situation because he has a big leg. So anytime they got around the 35-yard line, he just bring him in and just think that he could just kick 50 over 50-yard field goals, and that wasn't the case. And then we got Nancy says y'all gotta sell merch.
We're trying,
We're
check out
trying.
the link in the description on the main channel, Compass on the Beat on the link, or just go to compassonthebeat.com. It will take you to our merch site. You can support the channel that way. But and also it's cold. People love our hoodies, so check out a little
Yeah,
plug there. I always feel weird kind of doing the plugs there, but and
I know.
you set me up here. Link in the description for a PayPal link for donations because we're trying to. We seem, I don't want to jinx it, but we seem like we're going to be headed to Super Bowl Radio Row. We're going to be together in person. We'll do videos for House of Horns, What's Up Boats, and Compass on the Beat. So you can help out on the PayPal link, link in the description. Donations go to housing, equipment, just creating content in person. Maybe we'll get a Chargers player, maybe we'll get a Rams player out there in Las Vegas. Or when you see us going live, a super sticker will go a long way too. It doesn't have to be anything big, or just any type of donation. Or buy the merch too on compassonthebeat.com. Actually, no, compassonthebeat.com is the site where we put all our videos together. It's not the best
Hold
website. We
on, I
built it.
I I got you, Gilbert. Go ahead, keep
Yeah,
talking.
but
I
it's
got you.
certified compass.shop. There you go. But it's probably in the link also too in the description. Certified compass.shop. We're trying to
Oh,
get a little fancy with the name, but there you go.
there you go.
Oh, you got it. Yeah.
There you go.
Compass on the beat, but we did change the name. We're so out of date, but certified compass dot shop. But
Oh, there we go.
actually, that one still takes it too. Compass on the beat merch.com. I bought two URLs there. So I'm trying to get ahead of it, Nancy, but it's difficult to kind of,
Yeah.
promote all these things here. But I appreciate you asking.
Yeah, thanks Nancy for the plug there. We're just so people know we're not paying her to promote our stuff to tell us to promote our stuff. So thank you.
and
That's the alley oop, and you slammed it there, Gilbert.
And real quick, people in the comments here, but I don't want to out people because I don't know who wants me to say their name, but appreciate the donations. Much love to you. We got it. We've been emailing. Anybody who's given us a super sticker or see a thanks box on one of our videos, we've gotten a few donations, and it really means
Yeah, Evan. I mean, I got to give a shout out because he was one of those that has been rocking with us lately, and we appreciate the support, Evan. And then we have Nancy says I buy some compa shirts. Yeah, we have. I haven't been wearing it because with the light that we have on here, it gets super warm I need to probably put in a freezer or something so I can wear because they're so comfortable and they're nice and warm. And so like I'll be done doing the pod and I'm just sweating because they're so warm,
Yeah,
Gilbert.
you know what? I should probably do like a giveaway soon for the merch because I have some hoodies and some shirts still available. But
There you go.
again,
I
Nancy,
mean,
thank you for bringing it up because I always forget about it. And people, when I was selling hoodies last year or giving away hoodies, people always love them.
Renamed Playa says Haversick did okay. He missed was a high snap, and yeah, we brought it up, Gilbert, and that's part of having the new long snapper. That's gonna mess up with you. So, James Wheelock says it was nice seeing Otani at the game wearing a Rams jersey.
We're the 17. He got scared
Yes,
at first, and then he goes like
yes,
this.
yes. Yeah, and then he looked like he was ready to. They gave him a football, and he looked like he was a quarterback. He's like 6'5". Um, yeah, I'm sure the Saints could have used them on the other side. uh, Delbert Salgado, I enjoy the content. Merry Christmas. We're up hunt at the Meadowlands.
I like
Then
it.
everybody 0-0 in the playoffs. Vamos Rams.
Yeah,
Delbert, like Merry
I like it,
Christmas.
Delbert.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to everybody. Uh, Gilbert, I think we're gonna do our preview for that Rams and Giants game on Wednesday following
Yeah,
Christmas.
Yeah.
We have regular compas on Tuesday. We'll record that. We also have the looking ahead show on Tuesday as well. Usually it's on Monday, so it'll be you and Fernando doing the looking. I mean,
Oh, you
the
mean
live
the live,
lunes,
the Lunes
the
live, which
live
will be
lunes. We'll
Tuesday
have to
now. Yeah,
we'll have to
Tuesday
change it
live.
to live
Ma-
martes.
Martes, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
there
yeah,
we
because
go.
the next 2 Mondays are Christmas and New Year's Day, so we have to move everything to Tuesday.
Yeah, so everything's getting moved to
Yeah,
Tuesday the next 2 weeks.
but it's awesome that we've gotten to the point where people are wondering when are we going live. So we have to do better with our times, be a little more consistent. But you guys are finding us, and it's awesome to see.
Yeah, and we're getting more and more between the looking ahead show and the live lunes, and then this channel as well. We really, like I said, we really appreciate, like, we're not asking for, if you can donate, it's cool, but just hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to a
Yeah,
thousand subscribers. And so let me get to more comments here, Gilbert. We got AMS Robinson's balling out, like I said. Yep, four straight games with a touchdown, 82 yards today, six receptions. He's been doing great. Nancy, I love this show. You guys, you've earned my subscription. I'll be on often. Hey, anytime, don't be shy. Okay, we love the comments, we love the engagement. Lately, it's been kind of boring just because, we haven't had as much engagement. But hey, tonight you guys killed it between the pregame show and the postgame show. It's been awesome to see everybody hopping on here. And then AMS again, how about our fourth down defense?
yeah,
Yep. 0 for 3. They held the Saints, Gilbert.
yeah. That Kobe Turner sack, and I'm like, yes, it's perfect for my story because I'm highlighting the rookie class here, and I needed Kobe Turner to do something. So that was, and like you mentioned, 6.5 sacks, 5.5 for Byron Young. What was the total on the sacks? I predicted four before.
Two.
Oh, okay,
Ernest Jones.
you got it
Yeah, I
right
got it.
then.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Ernest Jones and Kobe Turner. Those were the
Ernest
two
Jones
sacks.
again popped off right away.
Yep.
He set a tone, made the impact in the first quarter. That makes all the difference.
Yeah, I've noticed that in the last couple games they've used him to blitz, and
Oh yeah,
he's gotten to the
I caught
quarterback.
that today, and there was one. I don't know if it was a fourth down, but it was maybe a third down. He didn't touch the car, but he got in his face quick, and he blew up the play.
Yeah, that was the one throw to the left hand side. I forget who he was trying to aim at, but I want to say I think it was the tight end. What's his name? Murrow. That's who he was trying to hit there,
Foster Moreau.
and he missed it. Foster Moreau. What are we up to for the holidays, Gilbert? What do you got going on?
Yeah, I gotta, I'm hanging out with the girlfriend side of the family. Obviously, being a Mexican, I'm gonna disappoint my mother. She's gonna be pretty annoyed with me, but this year is gonna be over there on my partner's side, and we'll have a good time there, and hopefully they have tamales and pozole, and then I'm not sure about New Year's Day. I might be with my fam, so we'll see. You, Victor?
Yeah, I'm actually staying in. Usually, we'll go to Oklahoma for the wives, but this year we're staying for Christmas here in LA. My family's back. They were in Ohio for the past 2 years, so we're gonna go spend
Awesome.
both Christmas and New Year's with the fam. My brother is actually hosting, which is kind of strange. He's hosting for the first time, so that'll be something. I'll bring it up on regular compas how that goes because I'm interested to see how he does. I'll give him a rating on his hosting skills.
Yeah, and Victor's still glowing from the being a newlywed, so I could tell.
Yes. And then one last one here, the sack the Rams got. Derek Carr had the ball on his chest. Should have pulled a Mac on him. Yeah.
Derek Carr. Yeah.
Derek Carr. Yeah.
He still threw for 300 yards. He didn't even have the worst game, but they were out of it definitely by the third quarter, and they made a comeback at the end. But I'm sure it was a frustrating game for him.
Yeah, I mean, if you watched his career with the Raiders, this was a perfect
Yeah,
Derek Carr game where they get down and then that's when he starts putting up empty stats and next
yeah,
thing you know he brings them back and then the stat sheet looks like he had a really good game and that's how he's won over some fan bases. I think Jerry Guevara, I think Coach Mbe wins Coach of the Year. I always felt the media forgot that he is one of the best coaches, if not the best coach in the NFL. And Gilbert, we're gonna Jerry, you set me up because this is gonna be one of the questions that I'm gonna ask the guys on Rapid Fire. We have a Rapid Fire segment, and I'll give you that question now, Gilbert. Why is it that the Coach of the Year just goes to the new guy. Shouldn't the best coach
Yeah.
get the coach of the year? Shouldn't it be Kyle Shanahan?
Yeah, we make up these weird criteria that nobody wants to, talk about. But like MVP has to be a quarterback, and now like coach of the year has to be a first year head coach that turns a bad team into a good team. So why don't we reward the ones that have been doing it year in year out? Like maybe for the last few years it should be Mike Tomlin, not this year, but or now. What McVay has done to turn a crappy team. I'll say last year, 2022, and regroup after winning the Super Bowl. He's been very critical of himself. The way it worked out last year, it wasn't the way he wanted to go to, and he reinvented himself and with less needs. So credit to him. And I'm telling you, like I think he's having so much fun now that these talks about going back to the TV booth might die down in the off season.
And Jerry, to your question, I and we had our preseason, our before the season predictions. I said Coach McVay wins Coach of the Year, which I don't think he's going to win it. And I said the Rams make the playoffs. They go 9-8. So the 9-8 is still a possibility, and the
Yeah,
playoffs are still a possibility.
I'm wrong because I went 7-10, and here they are at 8-7. So I'll take the L gladly.
Yeah, and then Nancy says the issue with Derek Carr is that he's never had the supporting cast. I think he has it now with the Saints, and he still has the same problems, Gilbert. I mean, he's just a check down guy, and then he struggles in the red zone. It's the same problems, and he the for the longest time it was well his when he's never had a really good defense. He's got a defensive coordinator here with the Saints. The excuses have run out on Derek Carr, unfortunately. James Wheelock says my birthday's 2 days after Christmas. Happy birthday, James! So I
Happy birthday.
celebrate both on one day with my brother. I expect we'll get the Rams gear. Awesome. And yeah, I'm supposed to get some Rams gear if the Rams get to 1,000 subscribers. So it's either gonna
Yeah,
I'm looking as we get closer to 1,000 subscriptions, Gilbert. I'm gonna have to start looking for a Rams hat. So that'll be something to look forward to. Hopefully, we get to the 1,000 subscribers before the playoffs start, so I can start rocking that hat.
yeah,
Jerry Guevara says nice. Steve Barbosa, what will happen to Tutu? I think at this point, Demarcus
yeah.
Robinson is probably the guy as the third guy right now, Gilbert. And I don't think we see Tutu as much.
It's funny because you keep talking about how many playmakers Stafford has, and the box score only has four guys getting a catch. And you see the Saints, it's like what is it, eight guys, double that. So
Yeah.
2-2 didn't get a target tonight, but just hopefully for him, like he keeps pushing because it seems like Puka Nacua even took the jet sweep, bro. So what are you gonna do there? And then Demarcus Robinson is kind of adding some vertical game to the passing attack. So these are things that Tutu Atwell wanted to get for that role, jet sweeps and vertical attack, and he's kind of losing that. But yeah, it's good to have at least a couple guys, and even a guy like Ben Scarron didn't even play much or didn't get a
Yeah, that's
target. So
another guy that's been kind of, left out of the rotation here. I saw a tweet today that made me laugh where they were saying if we had, I think it was a Rams fan said something where I think I'm just paraphrasing here, where if we had signed Demarcus Robinson last year instead of Robinson, it would have been different year. So I was like, no, I mean the offensive line was pretty banged up, but yeah, I think paying Robinson there. That was part of the problem. I think that was part of also why they had a bad season, Gilbert. They should not have gone. I told you, I he looked washed in with the Bears, and we're even seeing it with the Steelers. I mean, he hasn't done anything.
yeah,
Evan Hawks, thank you. No, thank you. You guys, you're the one that has been rocking with us. Hey, we enjoy the support. So always, please continue the support, and we'll thank you to you. And yes,
yes, thank you.
we've been going, Gilbert, and I joined the channel last year, so I was able to go to Super Bowl Radio Row with the guys at Arizona. They were here in LA the year before that as well, so this would be the third year in a row. So
Yeah,
thank you.
maybe we see a group of Rams fans in Las Vegas, and maybe the Rams are in it. You'll be there for sure. We'll definitely want to get together and talk, and maybe do a remote podcast, House of Horns.
There you go, Gilbert. So we're at 55 minutes, Gilbert. Let's. Do you have any final thoughts on
Uh,
this game?
just one thing, because we also like to hold ourselves accountable here. Somebody asked us on Wednesday who's going to be the number two back, Royce Freeman or Ronnie Rivers. Well, it was Ronnie Rivers. He got 6 carries for 20 yards today, so we got that one wrong.
Yeah, I was surprised, and shout out to you. I think it was here. Hold on, I know who it was. Actually, it was AMS.
Actually, yeah,
yeah, that was who it was. And shout out to
he
you,
didn't get a carry
AMS.
tonight.
Yeah, like we were wrong about that one. Royce Freeman, and then our guy from Montreal. Also, we gave him some bad fantasy advice about Shahid. We didn't think he was gonna do much, and he got that
Yeah,
bomb, and he got
yeah.
behind. So
I,
hey,
I bet it was a frustrating night for people who had Chris Olave. Like he got the yards, but he did not get the touchdown, and it went to like the rookie. It went to Shaheed. So yeah.
we have a friend who asked us about Cooper Cup. He had the receptions and the yards. He just couldn't get in the end zone. There
Yeah,
was
two opportunities to get a
opportunities.
touchdown.
I'm sure we're gonna hear about it from him. So
Sorry
yeah,
about
it
that.
yeah, it was
I did
kind of
tell
like
I told people to start most of your Rams, Puka and Kyron.
yeah.
So I got something right. And
Those guys
Stafford.
give you give you the points. So there you go, guys. All right, Gilbert, let's go ahead and end this. Actually, before we go, I almost forgot to do one more thing.
Oh
Who
yeah,
gets your 12 pack of beer player of the game?
man. Can I just get a 24 pack for the
Th-
rookies here? And
There you go.
I've been
Yeah.
talking about them today. That, like, again, they remind me of the 2017 Saints draft class. So Puka Nacua and Kobe Turner, Byron Young, even the punter Ethan Evans, Davis Allen. It wasn't his best game, but have him on there. And you know what? Bring in the young guy too, and Kyron Williams. So second year guy. But yeah, these youngsters, man, they're impressive. They're fun. Like Delbert was saying on the being the hunter. Nobody wants to face these youngsters with like it's like I don't know how to compare it, but I don't remember the last time a team was this young, but with three guys who won the Super Bowl and they're also star players. Like it's a very unique lineup here. So, and I'm sure, like I mentioned, Stafford and Cup don't mind taking a back seat for these young guys because they're making them feel young. They're having fun. So 24 pack on the kids. I'm not a kid, by the way, because I was talking to Henry. I did not graduate in the teens. I graduated 2007, so I am pretty older. But
It,
not that old. But yeah, I remember clearly when the Rams came to LA. But I also
yeah,
remember for many years when there was no team in LA, and here we
yeah,
are
20
talking.
years.
And just a kind of like reflection moment. I'm here talking from SoFi Stadium, thinking, if you would ask me in high school, I get to cover a Rams game, I probably wouldn't have believed you.
Yeah, and the NFL as a whole too, man. That's pretty cool. And we have you, you started this channel as well, Compas on the Beat. So shout out to you, Gilbert.
Thank
But
you.
for me, it's the old man, like probably the only player with some gray in his hair, and that's Matthew Stafford. And I gotta go back to the preseason, Gilbert. I mean, not even the training camp. And I remember he was asked Stafford, and he's like he was saying that he was having to look at images to know or remember some of the players on the team because there was about
Yeah,
20 new players on the team, and so how was he gonna remember everybody's name, and he went about it. And look at it now. I mean, look at him. He's playing like a youngster again. He feels rejuvenated, and it's the last he's what the last 5 games he's been balling. If he had started a season like this, he probably would be an MVP candidate. But you're not going to give an MVP right now for the last 6 games that he's played. But hey, at least enjoy this 12 pack of beer because you earned it, Matthew Stafford. I mean, I think I'm I'm looking forward to the Rams being the number 6 seed if they can keep this number 6 seed because we all want to see him go back to
I
Detroit
do
and
too.
play the Lions. I mean, it's the dream matchup of wild card weekend. I don't care what anybody says. I'm sure there'll be something better, but that'll be the talk of wild card weekend if it happens, Gilbert. So
Yeah,
enjoy this 12 pack of beer. But yeah,
yeah. It's the remember people were making fun of it, like, hey, Stafford doesn't even know his youngsters, and he wanted to clarify, hey, I'm not this old guy with the newspaper and the monocle, and like I'm actually getting to know these guys, and it shows on the field. They obviously you obviously off the field and on the field is different, but you don't get that type of connection if you're not talking together or working together when you're watching film or off the field. And they're laughing together, probably hang out and do other stuff besides football. So, and then also people talking about his careers maybe over or getting traded. Maybe the Rams don't want him. They hate that contract. and now we're talking about him possibly playing in the Super Bowl in LA in 2027. Like that's all, even though it's a long time away, but he looks like he's fresh, rejuvenated, and could go for a few more years. But let's focus on 2023, and he looks great.
Yeah, and I mean, get as long as he can, you can keep him, standing. Then this team is dangerous. And like I said, I think tomorrow you're gonna start seeing, your Friday headlines. Tomorrow is gonna be the Rams. Are they the most dangerous team? And we've been talking about it for a couple of weeks. So I'm glad people are joining. Thank you. Like I said, if you have time, subscribe to the channels. But Gilbert, that's all I have for you tonight. You got to
Cool.
get home. You're at
Yeah.
SoFi. Thank you for your time. You gave us an hour tonight. We usually do about 20 minutes. So, hey, the Rams are in position to make the playoffs. Their percentage has now gone up to 78%. They're 8-7, and now they're going to be the talk of the NFL for at least the next 24 hours. So, Ram fans, enjoy this. You deserve it. I mean, you just won the Super Bowl. You had one bad season, and now you're right back in playoff contention once again.
Yeah, I'm glad that tonight was a primetime game, just one game, so I get to focus on the Rams and hang out with everybody here in House of Horns. Chat before the game, chat after the game. So all the comments coming in makes it feel like, yeah, all this extra effort and extra work, like it's all worth it. And like Jerry, thank you too. We really appreciate all the effort here from everybody. And I took a while in the locker room. I was trying to get some interviews with Puka and Kyron and Stafford and McVay. So I appreciate everybody being here late, 10, 12. But we got to get going. Specific time, by the way. And either happy holidays or Merry Christmas. Enjoy yourself with your loved ones, with your family. And also, what? I'll be cheesy. You guys are part of our family too here at House of Horns. So enjoy the holidays.
Yeah, and I mean, Merry Christmas to everybody. Have a happy holidays. We'll be back. We'll still be on here. We're not taking any time off. We'll be back on. We'll be back to preview the Giants.
Yeah.
We might drop some stuff if, like I said, drop some questions. We'll answer them for you. I've been trying to get Gilbert to, hey, let's do a couple more things. So he's been generous with his time. So whenever I can get some time with Gilbert, we'll try to hop on. But as of now, enjoy this win, and we'll see you guys for the preview. But go ahead and close us out, Gilbert.
Yeah, just put down on your schedule Wednesday evening. We'll talk the preview for Rams Giants. But until then, enjoy the holidays. And on that note, ya nos vamos, pues vámonos.